After coming back, I made some more variants. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Arma 3 function attached to relative. With this function you can attach objects and weapons to a vehicle and create different types of vehicles in your Arma 3 scenarios. Now I have here a Notepad document. It's a written tutorial on how to use the attached to relative function, and not only will I show you how to set it up and use it, but I will also show you some other code that will add some more functions to your vehicle. That way it will be more useful in your mission without conflicts. So I have here the BIS FNC attached to relative. That is the native Arma 3 function, and then I have a link to the wiki for this function itself, which you can check out if you want. So I'll link this Notepad document in the description of the video. When you get it, you could use it as your reference. Let's get started. So attach weapons and objects to vehicles. Let's start with number 1. Name the weapon or object you want to attach. Example, MG. Number 2, name the vehicle you want the attached object or weapon to be attached to. Example, truck. Copy and paste the code below into the object or weapon that is to be attached and adjust the names in the code based on the names you are using. This is the code here that you're going to put into an object or a weapon that you want to attach to a vehicle. Now let's take a look at this code. The only things that you need to worry about here are these two names here. MG is the name that we used here, which is this, is the name of the weapon. The truck is the name of the vehicle the weapon is going to be attached to. Now with this code, you always put this code in the object or the weapon that you're going to attach it to a vehicle. It is not going to go into the vehicle, it's going to go into the weapon or object. We're going to copy this code and we're going to go in game. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Go to FIA. We're going to expand cars, and then we're going to expand turrets. Now I know there's already a vehicle with a machine gun on it, a heavy machine gun, which is this. And that's fine and all, but we're going to create our own, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So before we get started, place vehicles with crew, we want to uncheck that so that any vehicles or machine guns that we place don't have crew in them. And then we're just going to choose an off-road vehicle. I'm going to place that right here. We're going to edit the truck, and in the variable name box we're going to give it a variable name of truck, T-R-U-C-K, and then just hit OK, and that's it. So this is the vehicle we're going to attach a machine gun to. Now we're going to go to the turrets, and we're going to go to the M2 HMG 50 cal raised, and we're going to place that right here for the moment. And we're going to edit this weapon, and we're going to give it a variable name of MG, just like we did in the Notepad document. Now once you have it named, go into the INIT box, and when you see the cursor blinking, press Ctrl V to paste the code. In the code here, as we said, we have MG, which is this weapon, and then we have the truck, which is this vehicle. So once you have this, just hit OK. And now to make this work, we're going to attach this MG to the vehicle by positioning it where we want it. So you can pretty much put a weapon wherever you want on a vehicle. And let's make it a little bit more straighter. So we'll use the rotation widget to kind of rotate it so it's fairly center. And that will work. So just a note here, you want the code in the weapon or object itself. When I say object, you can even put sandbag walls up here. Alright, so we have that. Let's save that and let's see what it does. Alright, there you go. Now you have a vehicle with a mounted machine gun. You could go up to the gun and get in it. Let's get in the vehicle and we can drive around with it. But we can't get into the gun, so we have to actually get out. And we can get into the gun this way. And now we have a working gun on our machine gun. You can even put AI up here. Now here's where the problem lies with this. If you get out, you have the option to get out. if you get out, you're going to be floating. So I have something to fix this. Okay, back in the Notepad document, I added some more code in here to add more functions. So we have two more codes. One is a get in function and the other is a get out function. Let's start with the get in. The get in code enables the player to get into the weapon while in or outside the vehicle. The action won't show in your action menu until you're at least 3 meters from the vehicle. So this code here allows you to get in and out of the gun from either outside of the vehicle or inside the vehicle. That action won't show up for 3 meters. Let's go over this code real quick. Now this is an add action, which means you will see get in MG in your action menu. Now you can change this to say something else if you want. If we go down here where it says move in gunner MG, this is going to be the name of the weapon that you're going to get into. Keep that in mind. If you use this code, then you're going to need to change this to the name of the object or the gun. This code is mainly for attached weapons, not objects, so you don't need this if you're using an object. Use this for weapons that you're going to get into. So this is going to be the variable name of the attached weapon. Here is the distance away from the vehicle before the action of get in the MG will show up. Alright, so to use this, just copy this code and we'll go back in game and I'll show you how to apply it. By the way, I just updated the appearance of the vehicle, so I put the back on it and the sides and everything. You're going to edit the truck itself, and in the INIT box of the truck, you're going to press Control V to paste the code. Just hit OK and let's save that and let's test it out. See what it does. So now you walk up to the vehicle, you're going to get your standard actions for the vehicle itself, like get in, the driver or passenger. But if you get closer, within 3 meters, now you're going to get the get in MG function. Again, you could also go up to the MG itself and get into it normally, but with this action you can actually now get into the MG this way and still use it. Regardless, you're still going to have an issue, which we will fix. So let's get into the driver's seat. Now in the driver's seat, you're also going to see the get in MG, and you could, pretty much get in that way. But I know it's not immersive. It kind of breaks it, and you're going to end up like this when you get out of the MG. I'm going to give you guys another code that will fix this part. We added the code for the get in function, which is this. Now let's go to the next code down below, which is the get out function. When the player is in the weapon, the code will enable them to get out and not get stuck floating on the vehicle. Instead, they will land 5 meters behind the vehicle. So this code here is the code that you're going to put into the truck itself, just like you did the previous code. With this, MG is the name of the weapon that's attached to the vehicle, so keep that in mind, that you want to change this to the name of the weapon that you're going to attach. This part here, do not touch. Just leave that alone. I have that down here. This is the text seen in your action menu. To get out, do not change or rename this. You'll get an error and the function won't work. Alright, so you change this, and then you go to here where it says truck. Truck is the name of the vehicle, and you change that to your vehicle's name. Now right here, -5 is the distance that you will be positioned outside of the vehicle when you get out. You're just going to copy this code, press Control C, and we'll go back into the mission and put it into the truck's INIT. We're going to edit the truck, and then at the end of the code, look for your cursor. Now if you want to make this clean and put the cursor below the code here, then hold down Shift and then press Enter, and that will move the cursor to the bottom. Now what you do is just press Control V. That will paste the code from the Notepad document. I would suggest changing the names of the attached weapon and the vehicle name either before, or you could do it in the code here as well. Once you have that, just hit OK. Let's save that and let's see what it does. Now we walk up to the vehicle and you can see get in MG. Let's get into the MG. If we want to get out, it'll say get out just like before. And when you get out, you'll be behind the vehicle. If we get into the truck and we get into the MG and then we decide to get out again we'll be behind the truck. When you move these things around, I recommend not moving the vehicle. Don't do that, because remember that these are two independent objects. What you want to do is draw a box around these and then move them together. Alright, so we're going to create some variants of this to show you what's possible. So let's put down a quad bike this time. We're going to place a quad bike, and we're going to just position it like that for now just so we could see it. We're going to edit the quad bike, and we're going to give it a variable name of quad. We'll hit OK. We're going to attach a M2 HMG 50 cal to the front of it. So this is going to be the gun that we're going to attach to it. Edit this. We're going to name this MG1. And just hit OK. So what we want to do to make this simple is go to your existing composition here, copy the code here, press Ctrl C, and go to the MG. Remember, the MG is going to be attached to this, not the other way around. Go to the MG, and in the INIT, press Ctrl V. Now we have the code. You just need to update the names. So MG1 is this weapon, and then we know this is now called quad. And just hit OK. Now what we do is we'll go into the truck so you get the same functions, and just copy the code that we put in here. Press Ctrl C, and we'll put it into the quad. We have to look at the code. So move in gunner MG1. The next code is MG1 here, and then the truck will be now the quad. That should be it. So now let's take this gun and let's fit it to the bike how we want. And kind of adjust it, kind of make it center like. Alright, so that's about what we want. We'll hit save, and then let's see what it does. Alright, so now we have an MG attached to the quad. I know it looks ridiculous, but it's kind of crazy. And there you go. But can you shoot it? No, you can't. It'll only give you the horn. So if you get in the MG, that's pretty much what you could do with it. Let's create another variant. So we're going to copy this, press Ctrl C. We're going to create something else with the kind of the same idea. This time it's not going to be MG. Edit this vehicle. We'll name this Quad 1 because the first one was already Quad. And then we'll make that Quad 1. The thing we're going to attach is going to be an AT weapon. So we're going to make this small AT, get in MG, get in AT, and then move in gunner AT. We have a mortar here. Let's go down to NATO and expand the turret section for here, and we'll put a NATO launcher on it. We're going to name this AT, take the code from the gun, press Ctrl C, and we'll put it into the AT, and voila. So this is the AT. The quad we're attaching to is Quad 1. If you're not sure, you can hover your mouse cursor over the vehicle and you'll see it in brackets there, Quad 1. Now we just got to position this how we want. And let's see. Now this could be done a lot of different ways. We could do something like this where it's in front. I don't think you want to do that. But you could do something like this where it's behind it. We'll go like that. There you go. Save that. Let's see. Alright, so now we got a quad bike with an AT gun on it. And you can get into the NATO launcher. Of course, you'll be on the outside. And then get in the quad bike. You'll have that option. And you can get into the AT from, inside the bike and do that. And if you get out, you're going to be this far away from the vehicle. So I'm going to show you how to adjust that. In the code for the vehicle, the quad itself, you're going to go to the second code where it says model to world, and you're going to change this to 2 and just hit OK. And let's test that. So if we get into the AT, and then if you get out, you're going to be about so far behind it. Let's create some more variants. Let's go to a truck and let's place that right here. Spin it around so it's facing this way. We'll name this truck 1 since this is truck. We'll name this truck 1. Truck 1. And then we'll go in here, we'll take the code, press Control C, and we'll edit this, put it in the INIT, paste the code, and then we adjust what we're going to put in here. So in this one, we can put an MG in here. So we'll just leave it get in and as MG, and then for the move in gunner part, we'll name this MG2. That will be the attached weapon. MG2 here will be the get out part of it. And then truck 1 is the vehicle. So the gun we're going to use for this will be also the raised. Instead of adding a new one, what we could do here is take this one, press Control C, and just copy it and just use it here. Now I'm going to show you something. Before we put this on the vehicle, we need to, so MG2, and this will be MG2, and this will be truck 1. And that's it for this guy. So if we put this on here, if you take a look at what we have, let's kind of line it up. Use the rotation widget. And then if you lower it down, now the problem is you could see the predicament. This is not going to work. So what I suggest is to do something like this. We will go to props and type in palette and use a palette to raise this up. You're still attaching this to the vehicle, except it's being attached to based on where it's at. So it doesn't matter if it's floating or not. So this we'll just name PAL, and what we need here for this object to work is we need this code here. Press Control C, and we're going to put it into the palette. Control V, and we know this is named PAL as in palette, and then truck 1 is going to be what it's going to be attached to. Now for objects like this, I recommend going to special states and setting it as a simple object and disable the simulation. You can enable the damage if you want, but just make sure it's a simple object and it'll turn gray like that. And once you have that, just basically put the palette inside the vehicle where you want it, and we're going to place it right about here. It's going to be lower down just like that, and then we'll kind of square it up a little bit so it's square. And now we'll just take our MG machine gun, and you can see why I did that, why this is important. So you probably move this up a little bit more. So now you have an MG, and then you just got to adjust it how you want. And there you go. Now if you want to make this more interesting, I know this is open. Let's put some sandbag walls on it. Sandbag. And we could put a sandbag wall on it. We'll do this short. And just like we did the palette, I have it facing this direction. We'll just edit the palette. Get the code from that. Press Control C. And we'll go into the sandbag. We'll name the sandbag SB for sandbag. This you can't make a simple object, so it's not going to be set like that. So just hit OK. That doesn't, you don't really need to worry about that. And then basically in the INIT, you just press Control V, and we just change the name to SB. And this is going to be attached to the truck 1, so nothing to change there. Once you have that, now you're just going to position this object wherever you want. it might give you a little trouble at first. And you could do something like that. Now let's have two of them. So we'll just copy this, put it on the ground here, and this will be SB1. And we just got to update the code. It's still going to be truck 1. And then we'll just raise this guy up. So this right now it's got surface snapping. That's why it's getting a little snappy like. You could disable that and adjust the object how you want. Let's adjust this a little bit, and there you go. You could do something like that. Now if you wanted to do a third for the back, let's say, press Control C again, and let's edit this one, and we'll just name this 3, and then we'll just adjust the code here for 3. And with this one, we just put this one in the back. There you go. We'll save that and let's check it out. Alright, so now we have a vehicle with a truck with an MG on it. Pretty cool. You can see the get in MG. If we get in the MG, here we are. Get out of the MG, you're going to end up behind the vehicle, just like that. So now you have a functional vehicle with a mounted MG. Alright, let's create another variant. So what we're going to do is create another variant of this truck. We'll just copy this whole thing, press Control C, and we'll paste it here. And for this particular variant, we're going to remove the MG. We're still going to keep it here so we can copy the code. We'll remove the sandbags, and then we're going to name this truck. We're going to name this truck Truck 2. It's going to be a different type of variant, and we'll just hit OK. And for this attachment, what we're going to use is we're going to scroll down, and we're going to go to NATO turrets. We're going to use the Praetorian 1C. And yeah, I know it's freaking huge compared to this truck, but basically just turn it this way. I'm just giving you guys ideas. This is something you can use. For this to actually work, you're going to have it where it's going to be with crew, because you can't get in it and use it. So you're going to have AI run it for you, and that's really the only way it's going to work. So if you're going to have AI drive this thing around with this on it, then you want this to have an AI, controlling it. Regardless, you still need to put the code into it. We're going to actually go to this gun, edit the gun. We're going to copy this code, press Control C, and we'll delete the gun. Pretoria, and we'll give it a variable name of ER. In the INIT, paste the attached to relative code, and we'll just name this ER, and then truck will be Truck 2 this time, and hit OK. And now we just attach this to here, and you kind of want to make it as believable as possible. I'll use the thing to adjust it. Make sure it's square. Make sure it's centered and not like one side has more than the other. So it's really the positioning that kind of makes these more immersive if you want. You could do something like that. To test this out, if you want, we'll go to Systems. We'll go to Zeus, and then we'll go to Game Master, put a Game Master module down, and we'll give this owner for P1, and name the player P1, and this will give us access to Zeus for a reason I'll show you. So save this and let's test this out. And now you got a live gun here, and here's what we'll do. We'll go to Zeus and we'll spawn a plane and watch how this guy responds. So let's see, we'll go to planes and we'll just put this right here. Guy had no chance. So you can see how that can have a function. Alright guys, after coming back I made some more variants. You can see we have a boat here with a attached raised HMG. We have a truck with a mortar. And we have a transport truck with a Praetorian 1C. Then we have another transport truck with a attached machine gun, and we got this guy with the MK-21 Centurion. So all these are pretty functional. Go up to the vehicle here, you can get into the MG, and if you get out, I'm going to be about so far from the vehicle, and then we have the vehicle here with the mortar in it. Get into the mortar and you can get out. And then you have the boat. You can get in the boat. And if you want to get into the MG, which would be pretty realistic from the boat perspective, I don't know about that close, but you know, you could have AI get in there, and if you get out, you'd be about this far back. Obviously, you'd want to be on the shore, but you get the idea. So these are some ideas you can play with. If you use mods, you look in the props section and see if there are parts that you could use. And I'm sure you guys might ask, well, what about planes or helicopters? How can I attach weapons to those? Well, you can do the same thing for planes and helicopters. The thing is, if you have the plane flying, you attach 50 caliber to its wings for both wings, you're not going to be able to shoot those guns unless you actually move to those. If you want to remotely shoot those like they're part of the plane, then you would have to do something with a script and code it so that those are remote and can be fired on a button press. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you learned something from this, and I will catch you guys in the next video.